And greetings. Welcome to Faulkner Fixes All. This is a preview for a live feed coming up probably Sunday, maybe 2 Sundays from now, maybe this coming Sunday. I'll let you know. We're going to do a live feed on this baby. It's a 1960, June of 1960 Panther 3. It did have a tank on it. It did come with a tank. It's the wrong tank and it's rusted out. We'll get to that later. It's a Panther 3. It's got heavy duty wheels on it though. I don't know why. That's the big flange heavy duty S7 wheels. And that's also the big 12 gauge spokes. It's got the heavy duty wheels on it. I don't know why. Probably came with a 3-speed. Most of these were 3 speeds. Especially if you paid for the tank and the Panther. Panther 3, maybe that even meant 3-speed. I'm not sure. F0, June of 1960. And that's the production code. I guess you could probably look that up and see exactly what day, what year. A long story on this one. I bought it, 5-6 years ago. It came as a package deal. I had to buy this one and a Schwinn Little Tiger. It was like this little sidewalk bike with hard tires. It was copper tone. It was a 68 model, I think. Really bad shape. But my thing was, if I sold the Little Tiger to some collector, it would pay for both bikes. And you know what? It did. Because I paid $50 for both bikes. I had to drive like an hour away, but I got them. And the Little Tiger's long gone, and I sold it. It was kind of like a little bidding war on that one too. It's very strange. I guess some lowriders in LA or Schwinn collectors in LA, you know, because the Little Tiger, it says no brakes on the chain guard, and it's the smallest Schwinn bike they make, I think. Maybe the Pixie is smaller, but it's a really small little bike. And a bidding war happened, and even though it was a total hunk of junk and tires were worn through, the solid tires, it did sell, which allowed me to get this bike for free, plus a tidy profit. I do have some parts for it. My buddy Scott, the tree guy, I was digging through his junk, and these are not Schwinn. Or if they were Schwinn, somebody redid the stays. Not quite sure what happened there. They do kind of look like Schwinn. They've been scrubbed pretty hard. Let's look in the light here. Yeah, they've been steel wooled up. Yeah, pretty hardcore cleaning there. I could have Fred dip them, but I don't think it's even worth it at this point. These are middleweight fenders, and they will fit. There is one on here which is not Schwinn, and I put that on. And these are not Schwinn either. But they are middleweight, and middleweight fenders that aren't crap that you buy nowadays, made by whoever. I think Wald still makes them. Middleweight fenders are hard to find. Look at this. Somebody really got happy here. I wonder what was going on there. It's not quite in the center. The things you find that people have done. Just really makes you so happy to be alive. Anyway, this one, you know, it matches the bike perfectly. It's not Schwinn. And then it's got this whole thing here. Oh, the things people have done. Like, what happened there? Did it break? Well, obviously it broke. Oh, you know what happened? Somebody couldn't get the right size, so they broke this one up and cut it and made it a little longer, because if you see, it actually does make it to that one. So they didn't have the right size, or it just broke. I don't know. You know, get in a time machine, go back and find these people and whip on them. Anyway, so this is a middleweight fender, and here, let me sit you down over here. Let's just make sure I know what I'm talking about, because if this isn't a middleweight 26, then we're not going to use it. These broken stays are a real problem. Definitely not Schwinn, because Schwinn bolts here. Whoever's messing with this didn't know what they were doing, obviously, like I do. So yeah, something like that. Yeah, this will work with the right stays. If we get some S7 Schwinn stays that go to here, the Schwinn stays bolt to here. On some older Schwinns they go here, but most of the S7 bikes and S5 bikes, they go to this bolt and they go to that bolt where the rack thing is. So these stays are absolutely useless unless we pound them flat and re-drill them, which might happen. Yeah, we might have to go the distance. Anyway, but this is the correct configuration for middleweight. You can see the hole there kind of lines up. And we'll have to put a bracket here, and we'll have to get some stays that are correct. But if you notice, with the S7 tires, it will work. There will be clearance. On the back one anyway. I think the front one is probably the same story. Some modified. Yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody modified these. They might have even been Schwinn fenders at one point. I'm not really sure. But somebody's been in there. Those square bolts. And yeah, these might even be Schwinn, these front ones. But let's just take it out here. I think there's a pretty good chance this will fit on this one. And like I said, I put this fender on a while back just to have a fender. But yes, as you can see, this is a middleweight fender. Probably not Schwinn, or maybe it is, but it is a middleweight fender. It will work. So that'll be on the live feed too. And also, the bike was so bad, the fenders were just rotting off, so I took them off. I repacked the cranks. I repacked the wheels. I did ride this bike. The frame and fork are straight. I do have a tank. It's the wrong year, and it's rusted out. These racks are pretty rusty, too. And but they are really cool. Got the little 4-jewel action there. I think they probably did come with the bike. Although I do have these replacement racks, but under other considerations, I don't think I'm going to use these. The condition of the bike is not telling me to put these on. These are just really nice, and you don't find them this clean. And why would I put it on that bike? You know, those are so rusty, they go with the bike that the condition warrants that these just stay on here. I believe it has an AS bolt. Yeah, you can't really see, but that is an AS bolt. Probably the wrong post. It does have a green seat, somewhat of green paint left, and it did come, these bars didn't come with it, but these green, bluish green, sparkly grips, chubbies, they did come with it. The bars were completely rusted. The stem I had to heat up and pound out. The forks were completely bent. This is a different pair. Obviously, it's just sprayed gunmetal. I just cleaned the other paint off of these. These are middleweight forks, and I just sprayed them clear because I don't know. I didn't get to it. I might try to spray them kind of an off green. Might just leave them the way they are. Anyway, this is coming up on the next feed. We might try to buff up some of this. There's not much to buff up. This was a cool little emblem for that year. Yeah, there's not a lot of buffing it up and making it nicer. There's just not a lot left. I think on this one, and the chrome is kind of, it's there. On this one, we're just going to kind of let it be. Spruce it up with some fenders and better bars. Maybe a better low gear in the back. It's got a new chain. I repacked the hub. It is a running bike. I did go through it to ride it. I just kind of lost interest when I couldn't find the Schwinn fenders. I still don't have the Schwinn fenders. This is what I got. Some over-scrubbed middleweights, which need a lot of work. Especially the rear. I don't know what was going on there. Did someone forget how to use a tape measure? What happened there? Why was there some measuring issues? Where were they? Okay, that goes there. Okay, and then this one would go in the middle, and is about right. What happened? Somebody was off their game. Okay, so it is a running bike. It's got some black walls that I'm not terribly fond of, but they're in great shape, and they didn't come with the bike. I supplied these. What are these, Kendas? I think these are Kendas. I'm pretty sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're Kendas. Yeah, just some cheapy repops. I don't know if this bike is crying for white walls. Maybe some more aggressive tread would help. Where we're going, we need a couple more teeth here. And we need some aggressive tread. Hey, where we're bringing this bike, it's not a show. It's not a show. It's not a bike show. Yeah, the wheels are some decent wheels, though. You know, they're heavy duties and they're fairly straight. It's got the high flange hub. You know, yeah, this needs to be reseated or a new tire. It's probably been sitting so long. Look at the wump in that. Look at the up and down wump. Now the rim needs some truing too. Yeah. Okay, so stay tuned. Well, I don't know if you can stay tuned till next Sunday. I think maybe this Sunday we'll do a live feed. We got enough here to kind of chuck it on the stand and give it a go. And we'll complain more about this terrible fender. But hey, parts are hard to find, middleweight parts. And my buddy Scott, he hooked me up. This was in the pile. He gave me another S7 front wheel too. Well, I don't know where that's at right now, but he hooked me up. Oh yeah, it's right there. Yeah, he gave me that S7 front too, and that was really nice. That's for another bike. This has got good wheels, but yeah, it was very generous of Scott to do that. He's had a couple bikes here I've worked on for him. And if you're watching, Scott, thanks for these fenders. I know they're rough, but they're going on a rough bike, and no, I'm not putting this on. And here's the difference between a small Schwinn emblem bike and the large emblem. You know, they got a little cheap, you know, to save a few bucks. Dude, what happened? Did you save 4 cents in aluminum? How much did you save? I guess when you make 4 billion bikes, you know, 4 million bikes in the bike boom, you know, a little bit of cost cutting goes a long way. And by the way, you're never getting these off. This is staying on the bike. There's, yeah, I would be very surprised if I got that to come off. And why would you? It just looks normal. Yeah, these racks are staying on. This beat up green seat, staying on. That's staying on. Everything's basically going to be here except this front fender. We might touch up this fork and try to fudge it into this rusty green. But yeah, green's kind of a hard color to touch up and fudge in, as you know from my other videos. Hey, hope you're having a great day. And, you know, keep these Schwinns rolling. I'm trying to get people to do the right thing and get some of these Schwinns back on the road. It's important. Knowledge is important. And maybe this will help somebody in a similar situation. They got a beat up Schwinn middleweight, and they're putting some big fat fenders that they bought online, and they don't fit. They never do. The stays are always different. Unless you drill out a Schwinn fender, you end up with something like this, which is wrong. You know, the fenders you buy online have the wrong stays on them. So to find a stay that is correct for your bike, for S7s and S5s, it's got a bolt here, not here. The ones you buy online are going to bolt here. You're either going to have to use double nuts or go under the bolt that holds the back wheel. And that's something I really don't like to do, unless some Stingray wannabe bikes and some early Stingrays had them bolted under like that, but they soon realized that that wasn't the way to do it. And there are some stock bikes. There's a few stock Schwinns that have them like that. Early Stingrays and some really early bikes. But in the 60s, they learned you got to have the fender mounted away from the back wheel nut. And front wheel, not so much. On Suburbans, they mount it on the front fork. You know, there's a little tab on Super Sports and Continentals and stuff. And on the middleweights and cruisers, no, it just goes to the front wheel nut. which is okay. But the back wheel is really good to have the fender bolt here and not there. Okay, so this is a runner basically. It won't be an incredible will it run episode. It'll just be me sprucing it up and maybe trying to get that piece of junk wrong year tank back on. I can't dig that out right now, but trust me, if I say it's bad, it's bad. Have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll see you on the live feed. This is going to be a good one.